"Don't touch me." School bullies target elderly black woman, unaware she's a retired police. The badge under the fur coat. Odessa Callahan's lesson. It was a dazzling morning at Eastbridge Academy. Students strolled the manicured campus with the swagger of those who thought the world belonged to them. Down the main walkway, Miss Odessa Callahan moved with measured grace, silver hair in a tidy bun, a warm fur coat draped over her shoulders. She walked slowly but with unmistakable pride. For 22 years, Odessa had been a police chief, a leader in the trenches, a mentor to young officers, a woman who had faced down danger and come out stronger. But today, she was simply here to visit an old friend in admissions, a task that felt both ordinary and precious. Too many. Odessa's elegant coat seemed out of place, especially to a group of students, lounging beneath a sprawling oak. They wore identical crimson jackets, with white stripes, the infamous Crimson Circle, a clique of wealthy kids who swaggered through campus as if they owned every blade of grass. Their ringleader, Kellen Baird, was tall and broad-shouldered, his father practically running half the city. Even on his best days, Kellen's smile was cruel, but today he was itching for a target. "Hey you!" Kellen barked, pointing straight at Odessa as she passed. She did not break stride. She had seen boys like him before, loud, entitled, hungry for power but empty on the inside. "I am talking to you, janitor lady," he called again, his friends snickering behind him. Odessa finally turned, her voice as steady as a slow-moving river. "Excuse me, you heard me," Kellen said, getting up and sauntering across the grass, the others close behind. "You cannot walk through here in that silly fur. You think you belong. You think you are special." Odessa met his gaze. "I belong wherever I choose to stand." The words made Kellen's face twist in anger. "Do not act tough. You are just trash." Someone forgot to sweep out. His friends Marcy Delaney and Riol, children of donors, cackled. Odessa drew a deep breath. "Son, you do not know who you are talking to." Kellen stepped into her space until she could smell the mint on his breath. "Oh, I know exactly what you are. A nobody in a cheap coat. This is our lawn, old lady. Leave." He poked her chest and gave her a shove. The quad fell silent. A few students took out their phones, but no one moved to help. Odessa steadied herself. She had been thrown around by men twice his size and thrice as mean. "Do not put your hands on me," she said, voice calm. "Or what?" Kellen sneered, voice rising. "You're going to run to campus security. You're going to cry. You were just a broke old woman playing dress-up." His friends circled in Delaney's fists tight, Marcy spitting near Odessa's feet. Kellen sneered. "People like you do not belong here. Nobodies. Janitors." He grabbed her coat with both hands, pulling her close. "You think this makes you better?" Odessa's heart was steady. She knew the value of patience, knew that real strength was not about shouting or shoving. Whispered, "Maybe let her go. People are filming." "I do not care." Kellen snarled. "This is our school." Odessa looked around. No teachers, no staff, just a ring of students. Some scared, some eager for a show. "Let go of my coat," she repeated. Kellen yanked her closer. "Make me." Odessa's jaw tensed, but she kept her hands at her sides. Her old sergeant's words rang in her mind. "If they show you their worst, do not show them yours. Wait until the time is right." Just then, a campus security cart zipped up the path. 2 guards jumped out, but Odessa did not break eye contact with Kellen. "Is there a problem here?" one guard demanded. Kellen barked a laugh. "No problem. This old woman does not belong. She is trespassing." Odessa said nothing, just raised one eyebrow. The guard's face changed recognition. Dawning she had taught him to shoot, had signed his badge herself. "Ma'am," said the guard, "do you want us to remove them?" Kellen spun around, shocked. "Remove us? Are you kidding?" The guard only looked at Odessa, waiting for her answer. Odessa gently pried Kellen's hands from her coat. He tried to resist, but her grip was iron. "This is not over." Kellen spat. "No," Odessa replied, brushing off her collar. "It is just getting started." For the first time, Kellen's friends looked uncertain, whispers stirring through the crowd. The guard radioed for backup as Odessa lifted her chin, began walking toward admissions. Behind her, Kellen shouted curses, his pride wounded and his temper rising. But Odessa Callahan was no janitor, and soon the whole campus would know. The moment everything changed, the sun sparkled on the grass, but a chill ran through the crowd. As more students gathered, phones raised high. Kellen paced, his friends restless. "She cannot walk away," he yelled, voice cracking. "She is nobody." Odessa reached the admissions steps, pulled out her phone, and dialed a number she had not used in months. When the line connected, her voice was clear. "This is retired Chief Odessa Callahan. I need a response team at Eastbridge Academy, North Lawn." The guard near Kellen went pale, his hand trembling over his radio. He knew what that call meant. Kellen jabbed a finger at the guard. "Arrest her." "Sir, she is not trespassing." The guard replied quietly. "What do you mean?" "She is nothing." Kellen shouted. A hush swept the lawn as Odessa turned back, phone in hand, one hand resting in her coat pocket. "Kellen," she called, voice ringing clear. He turned, jaw clenched. "You have had your fun," she said, "but now you are going to learn about consequences." Marcy whispered, "Maybe we should go." "No." Kellen snapped. "She is not embarrassing me." Odessa's eyes were almost sad. "You embarrassed yourself." At that moment, a black SUV with flashing lights pulled up. Two uniformed officers stepped out, Officers Branson and Torres. They walked straight to Odessa. Kellen grinned. Finally, someone to take out the trash, but the officers ignored him, stopping in front of Odessa and giving her a crisp nod. "Chief, you called us." Kellen's jaw dropped. "Wait, ... Chief." Odessa slipped a gleaming badge from her pocket. It caught the sunlight, gold and unmistakable. "Retired Police Chief, Eastbridge City Police." Gasps swept the crowd. Marcy covered her mouth, re-whispered, "She is the one from the news, the harbor raids." Odessa nodded. "That is right." She looked directly at Kellen. "You put your hands on me. You threatened me. You called me trash." Kellen's mouth worked, but no sound came out. Officer Torres's face was stone. "You assaulted a retired law officer. That is a felony." Kellen stammered. "No, you cannot. My father here is on the board." Officer Branson's voice was cold. "We do not care who your father is." Marcy began to sob. Delaney turned away, wiping her eyes. Odessa said quietly, "You wanted to show everyone you had power. This is real power." She nodded. "Place them under arrest." A wave of disbelief rippled through the crowd as Branson and Torres stepped forward. Kellen stumbled, tripping over his own feet as the cuffs clicked shut. "You cannot do this." "I am Kellen Bird," Officer Branson replied. "You can tell the judge." One by one, the bullies were cuffed and paraded past the cameras and the wide, watching eyes. The stunned silence gave way to a roar of whispers, texts, and filming this would be all over the news by evening. Kellen passed Odessa. He looked up, tears streaking his face. "Please, do not let them ruin my life." Odessa's voice was gentle but unbreakable. "You did that yourself." The door slammed and the SUV pulled away. Odessa turned to the stunned crowd. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, one by one, students began to clap softly at first, then louder, until the whole quad rang with applause. Odessa did not gloat. She simply nodded and walked inside. At the admissions desk, her old friend Miss Harper was waiting, eyes wide with shock. "Odessa, are you all right?" Odessa smiled, letting out a slow breath. "I have faced worse." "You really showed them," Miss Harper whispered. Odessa finally allowed herself a small, proud smile. Sometimes, the only way to teach respect is to strip away their illusion of power. She gazed out the window one last time. Students were still talking, pointing, replaying the videos. Something had shifted. The Crimson Circle was not untouchable anymore. And maybe, just maybe, some students would think twice before judging someone by their coat, their skin, or the lines on their face. Odessa reached into her pocket, finger tracing the engraved letters on her old badge. A memory flashed her younger self telling a class of recruits, "Respect does not grow from fear. It comes from knowing you are strong enough to protect, even those who do not deserve it." She put away her badge, lifted her chin, and walked down the sunlit hall. If you believe nobody is too small to stand up for what is right, hit subscribe now. Join us for more stories where truth and courage always win in the end.